Doshiteru Yokoso YouTube, and welcome to a 3v3 here on Fall of the Samurai, the standalone expansion pack for Total War Shogun 2. And today I've got an interesting 3v3 here for you. I'm playing with Mr. Fluffykins, a drunkard, and this player here, Maternus, against 3 other players: Chuck Norris, Roundhouse Kick, Power Ranga, and the last player here, Albius. Now, our ally here, Maternus, I think his name was. I could be mistaken. Yes, there it is. Maternus. He actually brought a whole ninja army. And this is the first time I will be showing these new ninja units. These are still called Kisho Ninja. They do look kind of cooler than the other Kisho Ninja, and you can see he had them here in the trees. Most of them actually wasted their grenades and hit the Yari Ki of Chuck Norris. And they managed to kill him. Let's take a look at my army here. Over on the left side, I've got some White Bear infantry. I've got a Tosa Rifleman. And the Tosa Riflemen, if you did not know, basically get 150 range, and they have great reload and skill and great accuracy, but they are skirmish units. An attack here by Power Ranga at Mr. Fluffykins' Kihitai, which are elite units that actually give morale bonus to the units around them. But that attack fails because those cav were hit by some good shots from these White Tiger Force. And this other Kihitai troop, and you can see more units here by Mr. Fluffykins. He's got a White Bear, and he has also got another White Bear here. So both of us have sort of brought balanced armies. Not really many cav units on both parts of the equation. He's got his general's bodyguard there. So yeah, not much cav on our part. I think I do not. Yeah, I do not have any cav units. So we were sort of in trouble when we saw our enemy's our allies' ninja army, because all he really has are these ninja troops, and what he's doing is he's just sort of pushing the enemy away. This player over here, the player facing me, actually has a White Tiger Force, another White Tiger Force. He's brought a General's Bodyguard. He actually has a Gatling guns unit, and we're gonna see how they behave. And then he also has an Azure Dragon Force. So that's the troops that he has. I do have one cavalry unit actually that I'm going to use to launch a direct assault at this player's unit, and this is Power Ranga, and that's his general. And this guy actually has a Shogun army. He has some Yari Ashigaru. He has a lot of bow units. They're all bow Ashigaru here, and some bow samurai, and I think he also has a couple of sword units that are in the mix. And finally, the last player, who is Chuck Norris, Roundhouse Kick. He has 3 units of these Azure Dragon Forces, actually 2, and then a White Bear. He has a Spear Levy. There is his general, I believe. And finally, he has a Yari Ki, and you can see he's trying to chase away these ninjas, who will go into stealth run mode here now and try to chase down that general. Who is going to fall away. And that general that was fallen was the middle player's general, Power Ranga. His general sort of died, and here I was still sort of experimenting with Tosa Riflemen, sort of checking out how fast they fire, how fast they line up, if they fire as quickly, and I was trying to sort of gauge these units. I don't do many skirmishing. I'm more of a warding force here as we deal with the more numerous Shogun 2 player here in the middle, Power Ranga. So Drunkard is positioned nicely here. He's going to capture the shrine for us. The other 2 buildings, the Sword Dojo and the Archery Dojo, no real attempts by our opponents to capture them. They sort of just want to surround us, and you can see now they're trying to hit Drunkard's side. We will, I think, though, fall back and rearrange our troops, and you can see I've put my own line infantry here. Some good sight, and they will be protected from any sort of Gatling gun shenanigans coming from this vicinity. So my opponent here is going to do a very smart play. He's going to pull his units away, hide them in the trees, and sort of wait for the right moment to pounce at my Tosa Riflemen, and that's going to actually allow him to take some shots on them and get their numbers further down. So what remains here is these generalist units from Power Ranga his Yari Ashigaru, and there are his 3 bow units. He's got 2 of these bow samurai, I think. No, 1 bow samurai, 2 bow Ashigaru. And there is his lone sword unit running back to meet up with his ally. Our player Maternus still has his Kisho Ninja. They are sitting in the trees here, not even hidden now. And yeah, sure, he's been a distraction. He did help us out a bit in terms of distracting the green player, Chuck Norris roundhouse kick. But you know, now that their main troops are here, they're not really worried too much about the ninjas. The general and this cav unit is sort of focused on them. So I guess in some sense he did distract the opponent, but I would have much rathered if he had just a normal army and just been able to support us on that flank. So here we go. I'm going to start moving my units up, and this is when my Tosa riflemen get sort of ambushed. I am now skirmishing with them, and the Gatling guns still hidden in the trees, and really haven't been firing anything yet at any of our units. So I'm going to start pushing my units forward here. And this is now a place where I think these Gatling guns are going to start firing at me. Now, the Gatling guns aren't very accurate, actually. Even if you use them in first-person mode, they're not very accurate. And there they go. They're going to start opening fire, and you can see very sporadic sort of fire. They are going to be killing men. They do actually hit 4, 5 now. And that continuous fire can cause a lot of damage. And you can see here they are. I'm going to pull my units away, and they're just going to disappear back into the trees. At the same time now, Drunkard is sort of lined up in these trees, and he does have some nice vision on Chuck Norris's white bears, and he is going to be taking shots into them, I think. Yeah, there they go. Taking shots into this unit and sort of dwindling them down. But at this stage, if our opponents committed and sort of attacked on all areas, they would have been able to do damage. And now look at this. Suppressive fire from this one unit of Azure Dragon Force hitting my Tosa riflemen, who, I mean, I thought that they'd be able to spot any sort of unit in their range, but I guess they don't. And I really mismicro them here and just run back in the forest. I barely get any kills, while he almost decimates my Tosa units using the trees. Some nice cover too. So over here I'm going to move my white tigers. We decided that we are going to start flanking this green player. We needed him out of the picture. And my Turnus, who has the ninjas, again very far away from all of us, not really going to be playing a part here. So now look at this. My white bears are lined up. They are being shot by bows. They can't take shots at this cav, which is being moved excellently around the ridge. And I will be, I think, pushing my units forward any minute now. Yes, there we go. I'm going to move my units up. At the same time, Drunkard is aligning his troops up on this side. There's going to be some blank exchanges here. There we go. These Kihatai are going to cover for these white bears, which are going to reline up. And now I'm bringing in my white bears from the side. And Drunkard is going to use his white tiger force as sort of a holding force here, just to basically use these guys what they're really used for, a distraction. They're not going to be getting many kills. They already got 20 kills. They're just going to be there to sort of hold that area and allow us to advance on this opponent here and sort of remove him from the picture so we can be focused on the other players. At the same time, I'm going to start moving my troops through the trees here. This is a lot of cover. Gatling guns aren't really going to be doing any sort of damage to any unit advancing towards them from this area, at least not at these kind of ranges. My Tosa riflemen also in the trees, and if you didn't know, Tosa riflemen can actually fire while hidden in the trees. So that's why my opponent is very keen to keep his troops hidden, because if they weren't, my Tosa rifleman would be just taking shots, and he'd have to come in range of my Tosa rifleman in order to spot them. So, a White Tiger force and a L-Base's general supporting these Ashigaru units, basically. And you can see here, basically what happened is that we continued to push the enemy back, and now the ninjas move in and actually do some damage. They're going to just be hitting this spear levy unit, which would not really have been, or wouldn't really have caused much trouble on our part. But there we go. they're going to be routed, and then now all that remains is this unit of Yari Dragon Force, and now the ninjas are sort of just getting shot up by the general. I am trying to move my units up, and I know that I'm going to have to move them really close here in order to hit our opponents. Over here there was some action. This one unit of Yari Ashigaru is going to collapse as it hits this White Bear infantry unit. Now this is something you don't want to be doing. Once your White Bear gets actually hit, don't pull them back like that, because they will rout. So that's a big problem. I would have put them in guard mode and actually sustained those Yari Ashigaru, because they wouldn't really have done much. White Bears would easily take a Yari Ashigaru after after taking a clean volley and then standing in melee. They would do well. And this is now actually the best moment of the ninjas. They charged forward bravely and were all shot down except this one last brave ninja. This ninja is gonna be called Rikimaru from the Tenchu series. He is running away, trying to get away with his life, but the enemy units are still fighting. But my White Bears are going to be here in time and hopefully cover his retreat, and he will live to sabotage another day. But that ninja charge helped my White Bears get in position, and now I'm going to do suppressive fire on these troops, just to sort of dispatch them as quickly as I can. And now more ninja attacks here on this side. So while Maternus's army wasn't particularly very deadly, it did do a lot of distractions, and it did cause our opponents to sort of jumble up their troops, and that is what he did with his ninja army. I wouldn't recommend bringing a whole ninja army, maybe 1 or 2 units, especially not in small funds. But you can see here, these are actually Black Bears. They came in, they did a good job, now they're reloading and are going to pull back away. And we are going to start surrounding the enemy on this side of the hill. Let's go ahead and just fast forward through this part. I'm going to move my Tosa riflemen back down into the trees, I think. And I think a drunkard was going to attack from this side, while I was going to advance through the trees in order to minimize the effects of the Gatling guns. So let's see what happens here. What remains basically are some bow units, a single rifleman unit, and that is a White Tiger Force, a Gatling gun, and a level 6 general. So that was what remained, and at this point we were fairly confident we were going to get it. I do send my Tosa riflemen down here to the archery dojo that we are going to capture, and at the same time Drunkard has sent his general to the sword dojo, which he also is going to capture. So now we have the timer again going into our favor. And that timer really does change the dynamic of the game, especially in the late moments like this. Now the Gatling guns go out of position, and I'm at a very dangerous place here because I'm being flamed, and if this Gatling gun actually just stopped right here and set up, it would have been able to just shred my units. But it looks like Albius wants to sort of set them up here, and I realize that, and we need to just strike at them as fast as I can. So what I'm going to be doing is sending my Tosas up through the trees here. And they are getting actually butchered by these bows. But now the bows are going to be start getting shot up, and since they're one of them is only a bow samurai and the other is a bow Ashigaru, if one of their morale breaks, the other's morale will also break. And if the bow samurai's morale broke first, then the Yari Ashigaru will surely follow. So now here we go. These units, the Yari Dragon Forces, are firing at my Tosa riflemen, which are pretty much useless to me at this stage. Where did the Gatling gun go? There's the Gatling gun unit. And I think it will start unlimbering right about now. Indeed it will. On this side, Drunkard's Kihatai, White Bears, and this final unit, which is another White Bear, are engaging in battle, and you can see he's positioned them in a way that the Gatling gun can't really access them, and they're all fighting against this one White Tiger Force, and this is going to be a very easy fight for Drunkard's forces. The Gatling guns set up right here behind their troops, and now I think they start opening fire. I could be mistaken. Oh, but look at this. The moment they are about to open fire, I'm going to start taking shots at them with my Tosa riflemen from the side, and I think, yeah, these units from this side are being suppressed by Drunkard's forces. So now, all that remains is this Gatling gun, and it's actually not shooting at anything. I think it's because it doesn't have... Oh, wow. I think it's because it doesn't have line of sight. You can see the bullets coming in from Matsuda Kagemaru, who actually I moved him up over there on the left. So you can see on certain maps like this, Gatling guns effects can be very minimized. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see, you know, a beautiful sort of mowing down kind of effect, but hopefully in time that will come. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this cast. If you have any comments, do let me know in the comment section below. Do like the video, it does help me stay motivated and help the channel grow. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.